Today's date is August 28th, 2023, and this will be a recording of the Safety and Security Committee meeting for the Brazosport Independent School District, starting at 4 p.m. Okay, all I am showing 4 o'clock by my time. We'll go ahead and get started. For those that may have just joined, inside of the chat, I put the link for today's attendance roster. If you can go inside and just make sure that you mark yourself as present. Again, inside of the chat, I put the attendance roster. If you can just mark yourself as present. To be good stewards of everybody's time, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Read the official notice. This is a regular meeting of the Safety and Security meeting of the Brazosport Independent School District, held Monday, August 28th, 2023. The meeting was called to order at 4 p.m. This meeting will be virtual, and for all those that are on the line, this meeting is being recorded, audio, and it will be uploaded to the website once the meeting is concluded. Before I begin, to see if there's anybody has any questions or concerns that we need to address before we get started. Okay, hearing none and seeing none in the chat, I will go ahead and begin the Safety and Security Committee meeting for August 28, 2028 for the Brazosport Independent School District. Again, we don't have a lot of information to go over with the start of the school, but we have a few things that we want to start with. So, in keeping with the order, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll next move into the Texas Pledge. The pledge of the Texas flag. Honor thee, Texas, the flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. So, keeping with the order that we have, the first slide we want to bring up is the Safety Committee meeting agenda. I just wanted to bring everybody up to date that the Texas School Safety Center is still requiring audits. We are starting the new audit cycle, which begins August of 2023 and runs till August of 2026. Under that regulations from Texas School Safety Center, we have to audit all our facilities in that 3-year cycle. The addition this year, because of Uvalde, they've changed that all support facilities now have to be audited, whereas before we didn't have to audit our support facilities. So now the administration building, transportation building, maintenance and operation, and child nutrition all have to be audited. So they have been audited to the audit cycle, and again, that's why the list looks a little longer than it normally is. We usually do about 7 or 8 each 3-year cycle to encompass all of our campuses. But now we have to do all 23 sites, so the auditing will go a little bit longer. But this year, the campuses that are up for audit are Stephen F. Austin, A.P. Boydell, Madge Griffin, Polk, Roberts, Clute Intermediate, Brazosport High School, Lighthouse Learning Center, Brazos Success Academy, Administration Building, and Transportation. So these dates have already been set, and we try to do them kind of like 2 a month until April of 2024. So these have already been scheduled. Campus administration leadership has already been notified of their audit date, and I've already contracted with the auditors to be on site. So we'll begin, the first audit begins this Friday, and the happy winner for the first one for 2023 is A.P. Boydell. Next up is the Texas School Safety Center intruder audits will continue this year. Last year, I think their goal was to do 100%, but they fell behind. I think they only got about 70% of the school districts in the state of Texas completed. So the other 30% they're going to try and get once school is fully back open in all the districts. And I think HISD was the last school to open. So I assess that they will probably start beginning doing audits sometime in September. Any questions on that one? Seeing none, we'll move into the next agenda item, which is the Texas School Safety Center new annex requirements for 2023. As you know, of last year, we showed you all the things that we had to do and gave you copies of those annexes, but now they have insisted that the entities begin to do a annex that deals with any train derailment in any school that is 1,000 feet close to a train track. So for us, that will be include intermediate, so we have to do a train derailment annex. Then we have to do a severe weather annex, and it's just not one annex for weather, it's a bunch of annexes. So we got to do storms, we got to do tornado, we got to do hurricane, we've got to do a cold ice storm. So we've got a lot of work to get done there. And then if we have hazardous materials in our facilities or in our area, we have to do a hazardous material annex. And of course, with all the chemical plants around us, that's going to be another undertaking, because it's not just hazardous materials by category. So we have to do radioactive, we got to do chemical, and et cetera, et cetera. So I'll be busy trying to pull all those together and get them to Texas School Safety Center by
Is Madge Griffith not close enough for the train derailment?
Yep, my bad. I forgot Madge Griffin. Yep, Madge Griffin will be the second school that we have to do an annex for train derailment. So I'll be working with the campus leadership to come up with a viable plan and alternative, reunifications and evacuations and all those kind of things. So that's going to be a work in progress. Good catch. Thank you, Deputy Superintendent Ms. Cundiff. Any questions on, further questions on that? Okay. We continue, the district continues to have a mandatory requirement that all exterior door checks are checked on a routine basis. So we will continue to use our safety specialists, the police officers now that are assigned to every campus, and campus administrations and teachers to ensure that all exterior doors are locked at all times. And again, Texas School Safety Center has reiterated that if the district does not have a written interior door lock at all times policy, they will not expect that when they come to do their exterior door audits. Our district does not have a written interior door lock policy, but Mr. Massey's and the Board of Trustees policy is that all interior doors will be locked and closed at all times when students are present, unless a teacher is actively monitoring the door. So we'll continue to follow those protocols and continue to be the best practice. So you have a question for Mr. Sidebottom. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Ty, you were talking about the train derailment exercise. You talked about reunification. Did you want to try to maybe plan something with the Civic Center, at least maybe a busload or some personnel, just to kind of flush that out?
Yeah, I think we're going to need to do that, because this new train derailment throws a new kind of monkey in the wrench as how we do things.
Okay, I guess what we need to do is figure out the dates and then get with me so I can make sure I reserve the room so nobody schedules an event in that place.
All right, perfect. Don't let me forget, Brian. If you can get me off sideline so we can come up to a plan for that, I'd be most appreciative. Thank you, sir. Any other questions before we move forward? All right, hearing none, moving to the next. The next item up is the Avoid, Deny, Defend, or it's called Run, Hide, Fight, or it's also called CRAZE training. The district has completed training all of its staff, and we, beginning of this school year, have began the refresher training of all the campus leadership as they schedule us to come in to just refresh their staff on what it is expected of them if there's an armed active aggressor on their campus. Next item up is the Stop the Bleed training. Again, we're working with the current campus administration to deliver the training to all 7th through 12th grade students on how to stop the bleed protocols. Some campuses we have completed entirely, and some campuses we only need to go back and do the 6th graders that moved up to 7th grade. But other campuses that have current 7th through 12th grade students, we're working with campus administration to develop a plan. And you'll see underneath, under Stop the Bleed training still needs to be done. These are the campuses that we still have to either totally complete out or do just the new 7th graders. And again, that's a a lot of training, but we'll get it accomplished. Again, our district is far ahead of most districts. They have not even started the training of their staff nor the training of their students. So the district's in a good place. We just got to continue to be vigilant and continue to move forward on this training requirement from Texas School Safety Center. Any questions on that one? All right, seeing none. Boom. This year again, Texas School Safety Center is requiring drill requirements. Again, as I stated before, not only do the instructional facilities have to do this training or drills, now all the support facilities have to do these training and drills, which is a new item for them. So the administration building, the child nutrition building, the maintenance and operation building, and the child nutrition will all have to do these drills. We've got to do 1 secure drill, 2 lockdown drills per year, 1 evacuation drill, 1 shelter in place for hazmat, 1 shelter in place for weather drills, and then they have to do 4 fire drills during the school year, 2 in the fall and 2 in the spring semesters. So for some, this is going to be a new addition, so I'm working with those administrations and their leadership to come up with a plan to help them facilitate this, and so they can learn something new that they have to accomplish. So any questions on that one? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to the next slide, and here's a little bragging rights. The district, being Superintendent Mr. Jay Whitehead and myself, presented 2 sessions at the Texas School Safety Center Conference here this past June. They asked us to come down based on the robust safety and security protocols that the district has in place, and they wanted us to highlight and hopefully teach other districts across the state what it is like to have a good safety plan. And our protocols, basically, the title of this was Campus Safety Strategies and Tools and Emergency Operation Planning for School Districts. Mr. Whitehead, would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, I'd just like to say Mr. Morrow was a superstar that day, and I was happy to get to teach alongside of him. No, in all seriousness, we enjoyed getting that opportunity. We're also going to present, I believe, at the Midwinter Conference on the same. But we got great feedback from other districts. They inquired as to what some more information about the strategies we use. So it was a good opportunity for us to learn from others, but yet to give some of the great things that we've been blessed in our district. Our school board, our superintendent, have, and our community support safe schools. So it was evident that that was something that our district does well. So it was just a great opportunity to showcase all the good things that are going on in the district.
Yeah, wasn't that Nathan Turner in that picture?
Yes. Yeah, Nathan, again, the BISD breeds excellent leaders. He left us, went to Pecos, Barstow, Toya ISD, which is outside of Midland. And from there, he was able to secure the number 2 spot at Texas School Safety Center, which is the Deputy Assistant Director of all safety and school security for Texas School Safety Center. So, and we train them. So without that, and here's just another picture of Mr. Whitehead. The room was full. We did 2 separate sessions on that topic, and again, I guess the surveys and feedback that they gave, Texas School Safety Center, they said, was one of the highest that they've seen for, for a presentation of that caliber, and they were, very, very impressed with what we had to offer. So, and Mr. Whitehead was being mild. He led the charge. I just followed up. Based on being picked for Texas School Safety Center, we got a call, and I was privileged to go to to be one of the keynote roundtable speakers at the National School Safety Center Conference, which was held in Nevada. To my surprise, I just thought it was U.S. based, but it was not. It's when they say national, I meant it was national. It was folks from everywhere, UK, Africa, some of the Virgin Islands, and we were able to present again on the robust things that we have in place here at BISD. And again, BISD stole the show. Out of the 7 presenters, the feedback was that BISD knows how to do safety. So we were proud to take that honor home. And because of that, now again, Mr. Whitehead and I have been asked to come to speak at the TASA, but I'll let Mr. Whitehead speak on because I have no idea what that is, what the group is.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll just be very brief. That's mainly district superintendents from all over the state of Texas. It's a prestigious event that's held every January. I've been to about 9 times throughout the previous years, and that is a tough crowd right there. So Ty will definitely get tested to see if how everything holds up. But no, it's just great getting the opportunities to go out and talk about the good things. Again, our community partners, our response teams, you guys that are on the call here that are supporting our reunification things that we're doing with the city of Lake Jackson. And it's just, there's so much good in what we do. It's just good for us to, let you guys be aware that this is not anything that's any one person doing. It's a community effort. We're just grateful to get out and brag on our community and our community partners. So we'll do our best there at the TASA conference if we're selected for a presentation.
Is there any questions on that? All right, hearing none, we'll continue to move along. Projects that have been funded and implemented, we kind of briefed you at the end of the last school year some of the things that were being funded but had not been deployed or were in the process of being deployed. One is Quick Alert. We have been able to secure the 5 tablets per elementary campus, and these tablets will be placed in strategic locations that the campus leadership has identified where they want them at. During the normal day, these tablets/TVs will operate as just normal, promotional items where they can promote school spirit, messaging that the campus leadership wants to give to the students or parents that are coming in. But the beauty of these things, in an emergency situation, these things will change and turn into basically broadcast boards to let folks know that what's going on. So if we have a lockdown, the screen will turn the color of our standard response protocol, which is red. It will have a big message on it. It says lockdown, doors locked, lights out of sight. It will give an audible message to get people's attention and give directions of where they need to go. David Mendoza and his team have been vigilantly, working with contractors to pull drops to the areas where these things will be located at, and then it will be installed. But I'm happy to report that we have the 50 tablets in possession, and we're just in the installation process now. Any questions on that one? Hearing none, I will move on to the next 2 items I want to talk about, one of which is Zero Eyes. We talked about this in great length before, and Mr. Whitehead, you want to take this one over? I'll just put up some things so he can show you what we've been doing.
Oh yeah, thank you, Ty. So just to update a little bit on our Zero Eyes and Centegic's progress. We've been very pleased with the product. It has picked up on various toy guns, and even on, I think, Ty, you have a slide on some of our officer trainings that was done. So we have our exterior cameras, and I believe that's one of our officers going to a training possibly over the summer. So this is another layer that we have in place. It's an opportunity for us to respond. Again, it's all about response time. So we have a 24/7 monitoring if someone does approach our facilities with a weapon, and we've been very pleased with them evaluating whether or not they needed to make a call out. It's really, they're going to pick up some weapons, maybe our officers, maybe a toy, but then they have to make a quick decision on whether to dispatch our police to the scene, and they've done a great job of obviously not sending out or calling the alarm if it's not needed. So again, it's just it's a good product. We have confidence in it, and we continue to use it to monitor and keep our kids safe.
All right, I'll move forward to the next one, which will be TJ's. Want to handle that one, boss?
Sure, yeah. It's easy to talk about Centegix. It's our latest product that we have implemented this year. Our technology team has been amazing on this, and Ty's been amazing on this, because it is no simple task to implement something of this nature. If you haven't heard of it already, it's very exciting. All of our staff will have a badge, and I'll show you mine right now. It's right here behind my badge. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's simply a little thicker badge, and this badge has access throughout on every site. And I guess the key to this, a couple of things. One is that it's not dependent upon Wi-Fi or cellular. It's low Bluetooth frequency, and all of our campuses have installed hubs throughout the building. So these bounce off the hubs internally and externally around all sites. So if I walk onto any site and I need immediate response, there's two things this badge can do for you. It can get you a campus response team to your aid. For example, a student out front is having a medical seizure or something of that nature, and we need a response team. If I click this 3 times, it's going to notify that campus response team. It vibrates so that I get the feedback to know that I've made the message go through. But there's a 3-click system for a response team on campus. Every employee has one of these badges, and as soon as this badge is set off, it comes up on the responder's phone and computer to allow them to find you immediately. We've already used this on our campuses for response. We've had a teacher fall, and she clicked 3 times. We had our response team there instantly. If we have a student issue with a disciplinary action that's major and the teacher needs support, they can click it. So this is a great tool that we're very happy to implement this year. And the other opportunity this has for us is an 8-click or repeatedly click this, and it actually will put the entire campus on lockdown. It will notify all staff via their computer. It's a pop-up that takes over their computer. We also have strobes throughout the entire building, which will turn to red and flash. There's a low frequency indicator. It will also go out through our Bogan and our Cisco phones. So every employee of the district has the capacity to put the school in lockdown, so we have immediate protection of our students. So that's an hour's worth of information in about 2 minutes that I tried to give you, and I'm sure if you have questions we can do some follow-up, but Ty's showing you a few pictures there with a map at any particular campus. If this goes off, we know where the problem's at. It's just a very, very good system. Obviously every system has their bumps. We're still trying to get through all the initial implementation, but it's just a very, very good system, and it does meet the requirements for House Bill 3 that every teacher must have a way to get support or help immediately from every classroom. So, Ty, what did I miss?
The only piece is that we are working with our law enforcement partners with their dispatch centers, and most, I know, Lake Jackson, Freeport, and Clute will actually have the exact same app and map that you see now embedded with their technology. It'll run in the background, and when there's an emergency, 8 pushes or more, the map will actually pop up just like this. It will give them actually who pushed the button, what teachers, their initials, which is AH is the one that's a demonstration. Well, not a demonstration. It was an actual alert that a teacher sent, and it shows you exactly, their initials AH and where they're located in the building. Then onto that little right box on the right side, it tells you what classroom or what area they're exactly at, the time they pushed it, and their exact name, so that law enforcement dispatch will know how to begin to dispatch their folks to assist us. So then the other piece on that is the system is, have been very well received by our staff. So any questions from the group on that one? I like that. Here in silence, that's none. So then here, this just to give you a breakdown, just show you that the teachers are using it. So I just picked one campus, Best Brandon, to show these are all alerts and to tell you the type that they've had, which is some they say invert and pushes. Something's new, so the teachers are going to test it just to see if it works. So that's it. And then you've got some where they're testing. Then you got some where it's behavior issues, and then you got the orange where we got kids that are eloping. They like to take off and run. So that's when they need, they're just pushing the 3 button and getting a meeting held. I see I have a question from Mr. Solis. Yes, sir.
Yes, Ty, I may have asked this before, but remind us, there's a lot of components to make this work. Who's responsible for maintaining the system? Is this...
Great answer. Great question. Yeah, so the way the system is designed, the company monitors the badge health. It's got a 5-year shelf life on the battery. But again, they also monitor the battery on the strobes that are attached in every classroom down the halls on the exterior of the building. They monitor the hubs to make sure that they're functioning accordingly and properly, and they will give us notification if any of those things go down or wrong. And again, me being the guy that believes in Ronald Reagan saying trust but verify, we are the only district that they're giving what they call view rights to their system. Because I told them, I said, I don't want to just be relying on you. If I'm walking to campus, I want to be able to look to see that the system is up and running as designed. Each campus administration has the ability to do a badge check, which I recommend that they do about every 2 weeks, because they have access to this dashboard that I'm showing you right here, so they can look at that dashboard and check every one of their staff's badges to make sure they're green and not red. And if they're red, that means something's wrong with the battery, it's going low. But it's also supposed to send us a message if the battery's going low. So the overall monitoring is on Centegix, but again, my readers, I'm going to be, double checking to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Good. I guess that was my main concern, is that the system maintenance and sustainability is maintained by the company providing the service. So
correct.
That's really good, because that's the last thing we need is more stuff to work on.
Absolutely, right? And that's why it was an easy sell for our technology, because it's an easy lift for them. They don't have to do anything.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? All right, moving on to the next. Boom. 2023 grant projects that we're still waiting announcements on. Again, before I brief you all that we went after the 2023 COPS SVPP grant. And if we're successful, the goal is to put BDAs, bidirectional amplifiers, or digital antenna systems in the following campuses that are listed. And basically what that will do is enhance the radio communications in and out of facilities and add cellular service data to those facilities. Basically, put a service that'll pull the cell signal in the building and push the cell signal out in an emergency. And again, the goal was to do the critical infrastructure. Oops, hit the button by mistake. Hit the critical infrastructure, B-Port, B-Wood, FIS, LJI, and CIS first, because normally those are where if there's going to be an active aggressor, those are the campuses that traditionally have been hit, except for Uvalde and Sandy Hook, which were anomalies. And then the second part of that grant is to try and get 3M bullet-resistant film put on all the first floor windows around those campuses. And then, hopefully by then, I'm believing what I'm hearing is that Governor Abbott may release some more money towards that film on the backside, so then we'll try and do the elementary campuses. So, and if we get the total grant, I think it'll be a total of $665,000 500 and change of that will be supported by the federal government, and then we've got, of course, a 25% match, which there's money in the budget for that. So any questions on that one? All right, then I know I probably reported to you all the last time that we had put in for a grant to get surveillance trailers. And the reason why we needed surveillance trailers, from my perspective, at our sporting facilities, we really have no camera coverage whatsoever. So these 2 surveillance trailers, these are not the ones we're getting. These were loaners. Based on the grant, we're able to get 2 robust systems that look even better than this. But it's going to take them about a month and a half to 2 months to produce them. So I was able to sweet talk the company into giving me 2 loaners until our permanent units get here. So we have these on loan. We got trained on them today, and Chief Wade will be rolling these out to our sporting facilities to set them up so they've got eyes and ears on the complexes during sporting events moving forward. So, questions on that one? And hearing none, I think that's going to bring us to the end. So it's just going to be a short meeting. Not a lot going on. So anybody have any questions, comments for good of the order? All right, let's see. Hear none. Mr. Whitehead, you got any closing remarks?
Great job, Jay and Ty. I appreciate all your work.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, just echo what Steve said. I just, again, appreciate you guys' support. And also, if you ever have any follow-up questions or want to know more about some of the things that we've mentioned today, don't hesitate to reach out. We're really proud of what we've been able to implement with our board support and our community support. And we just want to say thank you again for attending today, and also for anytime we reach out, you guys are always so good to respond and support our school district, and we are extremely grateful for your partnerships.
All right, thank you, boss. With that being said, our thank you. Our next meeting will be January 22nd, 2024, and same bat time and same bat place. So I will send out the announcements beforehand. And thank y'all, and enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of the week. All right, that concludes the safety and security meeting of the Brazos Point Independent School District. The time now is 4:33. Again, that's including conclusion of the Safety and Security Committee meeting of the Brazos Point Independent School District, and the meeting was closed at 4:33 p.m. Thank you.